Right, let's talk about real stuff. Right, I think that when we look at what's next for Manchester United, it's Fenerbahce, it's West Ham. It's a big week for Manchester United. We're going to be playing in Turkey against the likes of Fred, Amrabat, St. Maximum. They've got good players and it's in Turkey and it's going to be very, very difficult. And then literally from Thursday night to Sunday lunchtime, we're going to play West Ham. This is a quick turnaround and we've got lots and lots up for grabs. And as I would say, very good result against Brentford, but you're only as good as your last result. And we know the knives are sharpened. I think at the moment we're in this horrible position where Ten Hag outers are having to put a fake smile on their face. Fair play, some of them aren't. They're just saying I'm Ten Hag out. So we're in this position where we had a very toxic international break where a lot of people said, I've had enough, I'm Ten Hag out. Then the players come back, they respond, they win, and it puts us in that difficult position. And we know what the media want. So one more loss and it will start again. We're on thin ice. There's no denying that. How does Ten Hag make that thin ice thick ice that's not going to break? Well, there's a few things I think he needs to do. And I think when you look at the game against Brentford yesterday, we've spoken about how the team responded when they got angry, etc. But I also think the way to silence your critics is to be unpredictable. And we can talk about best 11s and we can talk about what Ten Hag needs to do from this point. But when I look at that league table and I see us in 11th place, we are only 4 points off Brighton in 5th. Like, it's congested. We are only 6 points off Villa in 4th. It's not far away. But what you have to do is you have to take a Brentford result at Old Trafford and you have to turn it into a win against West Ham, a win against Chelsea, and a win against Leicester. Now, I'm not saying we're going to win 4 games in a row because I think that's very hard in the Premier League, but you've got to win 3. You've got to win 3 out of your next 4. I would even say losing one's not bad if you win 3. You'll put yourselves in around there. But there's no point in this league when you're playing catch-up, winning 1, losing 1, winning 1, losing 1, because you won't play catch-up. We need to catch up a little bit, so we need to start winning games. Now, he's got 2 choices here. He can keep doing it off a very small core of players. Like, he's very reliant on the likes of Eriksen, Johnny Evans, De Ligt, Rashford, Garnacho. You know, he's reliant on Bruno. He's reliant on Dalot. He's reliant and he's narrow on what he's reliant upon. We're playing too many games for him to favour certain players. And we saw that yesterday with the subs. He doesn't trust his subs. He doesn't want to get them on. I was watching that touchline and Agate's ready to go for 20 minutes. Ahmad's ready to go. Ahmad doesn't get on. Agate gets 5 or 10 minutes. They're ready to go on. And you can see Ten Hag going, no, if I can just go another 5 minutes, if I can just go another 5 minutes with what I've got, he's got to stop doing that because he'll burn them out. We'll get more injuries. He can't play Johnny Evans 3 games in 6 days. You can't do that with Casemiro. You can't do that with Eriksen. So he's got to become unpredictable. And I think there was one point in the game yesterday that really epitomises how we can have success with this set of players and this manager. Unpredictability. And to do that, you need a lot of options. And to do that, you need a lot of confidence. And to do that, you've got to be on the front foot. And the specific moment I'm talking about is in the start of the second half. You're 1-0 down. You're angry. The ball goes in from Eriksen to Rashford. 1 touch. Whips a lovely cross to the back post. Garnacho's unmarked. Goal. We score that goal because we do something that Brentford are not planning for. Everybody knows United struggle against the low block. Everybody knows that United will overplay the ball. Everyone knows when Man United are going to put a cross in, they'll have a really long look and then they'll put it in. What do? Rashford does have a look, but he's not in a really obvious, I'm going to cross it place. He's a bit centre and he's a bit deeper. And he whips a lovely cross into the back post that Brentford don't anticipate, but Garnacho does because it's come from the training ground. It's actually been planned. It has to be because Garnacho makes such a well-timed run and Rashford puts it into such a good area and it's 1-1. And Brentford are like, hold on a minute, that was a bit unpredictable from Manchester United. And the same thing happens with the second goal. It's very quick, it's very direct. It's Eriksen into Bruno, little flick, Rasmus is through, little dink, lovely goal. We get back into the game yesterday because we're unpredictable. We don't break low blocks down. We've been rubbish against low blocks for years. But yesterday in the second half, because we were angry, we almost played on tempo. And that is something that Manchester United need to do. We're so predictable in what we do. We like the diagonal over the top. We like to overplay it. We like to get to the edge of the box and go, oh, we don't know what to do next. And actually, yesterday especially, but against Porto as well, when we freestyle it, but it's not freestyle because it's technical ability and it's teamwork, and it has come from the training ground, and we probably do it on the training ground all the time. But when we normally overthink things, unpredictability will set us free. If you play a team that whips a crossing like we did against Brentford, they're not expecting it. And that's why that goal happened. So I think unpredictability really has to be something on the attack that we need to promote and we need to look at, because that's undefendable. That was both our goals were undefendable yesterday, and it was almost like we did it without thinking. Quick ball into Rashford, one touch, back post, Garnacho, goal. Brentford are like, what the fuck? We're still in the dressing room. That needs to happen. Wingers on their natural foot. Can I just say about this? I'm happy to freestyle tonight. Mustafa said we had 50% possession. Mate, Liverpool just beat Chelsea with 45% possession. What's this obsession with possession? We needed to win the game yesterday. I couldn't give a shit about possession. We had 20 shots. They had about 9. We had about 11 on target. They had about 3. I couldn't give a shit about possession. I saw some absolute clown on Sky saying that Man United sat back and counter-attacked. Well, I don't know what bloody game you watched, mate, because it wasn't Man United Brentford. We counter-attacked against the team that did sod all. We didn't. We just didn't look to... We played to our strengths, the same way Liverpool played to... I mean, Liverpool are top of the league. They've just let Chelsea have more of the ball. Will people be going, oh, it's embarrassing? It's embarrassing. It's not embarrassing. I thought the way we played the game yesterday with the limited results we've had so far, it's about getting results. We got the result yesterday, but it's how we go and take that into future games. And I think that leads lovely into the second point. We do need to be more unpredictable. Marvin says it won't happen in the next game, and that's the challenge. I don't necessarily think Marvin's wrong on that one. Can we be less predictable? Can we go to Turkey and London in the next 2 games and just play a little bit more free? There was a lovely bit in the first half where Rashford pinged a lovely diagonal across to Garnacho and he got the shot off. And that's what we need to be. We need to be unpredictable. Also, we have to get rid, and I suppose there's a couple of things I would say here. In the longer term, he's got to find his best 11. I think if he does this, we can move up the league. I'm not going to say we're going to get top 4. Maybe we can do a poll on that in a minute. I want to get into what you think. But I am fully aware that we're in 11th at the moment. And if we lose to West Ham, we'll go back down the table again. If we beat West Ham, we'll go up the table. If we draw, we'll probably stay in the same place. We are at the start of a journey and it needs to progress. To do that, he's got to find his best 11. And that is not always easy when you've got injuries. But I know, as much as we won yesterday, I know that Johnny Evans and De Ligt is not our best centre-back pairing. I know that Martinez is not our best left-back. I know that Eriksen, Casemiro and Bruno is not our best midfield 3. And I also know that Garnacho-Rashford dynamic, I'd love Marcus Rashford to say, I want to play right wing. I want to challenge Saka for England. For the next 3 years, in my prime, I want to be a right winger. I really enjoy being on the natural side. It's easier for me to create. I want to be more creative. And also, I can get a shot off from the right-hand side. I just feel so much at home on the right-hand side. That would solve a big problem. I still think he's better off the left. So there's a lot for Ten Hag to sort out. We're in survival mode. We are in survival mode, but we played some good football yesterday. Because we played some good football yesterday, he's got to build on that. We need to move. The whole point of survival mode is you can't stay in survival mode forever. You either survive as long as you can until you die, or you recover. And you recover and you have a lease of life. It's a bit like, having a serious illness. You're either in survival mode until it kills you, or you're in survival mode until you get better. So if Ten Hag wants to keep his job, we need to get better. And there were signs yesterday that we could do. But he's going to have to build out his vision. Now, Mainoo's injured at the moment, so he would be in his best 11. Obviously, we haven't got a left back at the moment, so that's messing us around a little bit. But he has got to progress to that, because if he thinks he's sticking with what he's got, that will come unstuck at some point. And that's no disrespect to Casemiro or Eriksen or Martinez at left back or Johnny Evans at centre back, but he has got to progress to that. And that goes back to the subs. Favouritism will sink him. It is favouritism. It is. he's got to change. He's got to be adaptive. He's got a big squad. He's got to use Ahmad. He's got to use Mazraoui. He's got to use his left back. He's got to use Yoro when he comes back. He's got to get Martinez back at centre back. He's got to use Ugarte. He's got to use Mason Mount if he comes back. He's got to integrate Xerxes more. We are not Manchester City. Manchester City with Pep doesn't make changes some games, but he's got the best squad in the world and they've won loads of titles, and he will just pick a different 11 from a different 11. Subs to him, doesn't need to make them. We do need to do that.
Goldbridge, that's the end of the clip. I'm sure you enjoyed it. In fact, I bet that's the best clip you've ever watched. So there's no reason not to subscribe to the channel, click the bell icon so you never miss a clip again. In fact, smash a like on the video because we all know only legends like videos and you are all legends. So please smash a like on the video and we will see you again on the next one. Thank you very much for watching as always.